Good day, English winners. Today we're going to talk about sports and how there are some idioms that have to do with sports that you could use and understand in your English-speaking adventures. Let's get started. So, I got to second base with Rachel last night. Hey, come on, that's not appropriate. Used a lot by younger people, first, second, and third base represent increasing levels of physical contact with someone of the opposite gender. Usually, first base is holding hands, second is touching or kissing, and the third is most of everything else. It's a little crude, so don't do that in formal company or around people in a very high-trust environment. I cried foul. You can also use there was foul play or don't use foul language. An example is, when I found out that the report was based on false information, I cried foul. Foul equals rule breaking, something morally dirty or illegal. If you cry foul, it means you are announcing that something bad had been done. Whistleblowing. Also, there's the noun whistleblower, or the verb blow the whistle. Example, I had to quit immediately after whistleblowing on the corruption. Now, whistleblowers report illegal activity that happened at work, often committed by coworkers or bosses, to law enforcement or police. If the government did wrong, whistleblowers would go to the media or the news. It's like crying foul, but on your employers. Next, that person has some game. You could also use the words, that person has some swagger. Example, when he approached a complete stranger and she gave him her number, that guy really has some game. Now, game is a term used to describe high levels of confidence in social interaction, especially with members of the opposite sex. So a man who's good with women, or a woman who's really good with men, that person has some game. Crossed the finish line. You could also use crossed the end zone or the goal line. Example is, we reached the finish line on the remodeling work. And that just means to reach the end of a long, tiring project. You crossed the finish line. Number 6, clutch moment. Moment of truth, or when the pressure is on. Example, he does well until that clutch moment. Then he screws up. Clutch moments refer to small windows of time, usually just a few seconds, where a person has to perform very well and the stakes are high. If they win during that clutch moment, it's a big win, and if they lose, it means failure and often disaster. Number 7, he was drafted. You could also use he was recruited, he was hired, or he was contracted. Example is, many Americans were drafted into the Army during the Vietnam War. Drafting is done by professional sports teams when they want some new players. But these terms, he was drafted, he was hired, he was recruited, can refer to any situation where somebody joins a team. Number 8, against the ropes, back against the wall, pinned down, down to the end of his rope. All these terms come from boxing, war, wrestling, and rock climbing. These phrases describe situations where a person or team is about to lose if something big does not happen very quickly. An example is, now, up against the ropes, he searched for the best cancer surgeon money could buy. Number 9, gaining on them, coming up from behind them, closing in on them. Example, despite spending years as the top provider of X-ray equipment, a rival company is closing in on them fast. So, to make progress against a competitor who was in the lead, but will soon be passed by if nothing changes. That is what it means when you are gaining on somebody. You are closing that gap that they have ahead of you, and soon you will pass them. Number 10, watch the tape. Example, we all did our best, and after we watch the tape, we'll know what changes to make to do even better next time. You see any major sports network where they're interviewing a coach or a team leader at the end of a game that they lost, they'll say this term, watch the tape. Now, watch the tape means to review how you did. Sometimes this happens on a camera, like in sports, or if you're giving a big speech at an important conference, and sometimes it's just a mental exercise, something you think about as you look back on your accomplishments, or lack thereof. By thinking about what happened, there are lessons you can learn sometimes to do a better job the next time around. So that's it on my sports idioms video. If you like it, please subscribe down below. I'll put a link to my idiom playlist and also my ED endings video. Very important. If you want to be good at English, you got to know your ED endings. Until then, keep on winning, English winners. I'll see you later.